Hey guys.
Welcome back to Pew Time. Welcome back to Pew Time. I'm Tony. What's your name?
Jackie.
Angry is your name.
Angry is
I'm
my name.
sorry. All right, what was it? Hey guys. Welcome back to another episode of Pew Time. I'm Tony.
I'm Jackie.
She's a little distraught because I had to do a sound check and she wasn't doing it loud enough, so I pinched her arm. Then she was loud enough.
Yep. A little tiny itty bitty bug bite pinch.
You're fine.
So, we got some gun news for you guys.
We do. I was a little thrown off by this when it first was talked about because the way they described it was grip conversion.
Okay.
It was a 1911 double stack grip conversion. I'm like, holy shit, that's kind of interesting. I don't know how they would do that because 1911 frames are just skinny all the way down. That's why people don't like them. They're like girls with no hips, no booty. They're just flat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, so they've BBL'd 1911s. How? It's not any of that. Forget everything I just said. They've made a 2011 grip.
Okay.
And it's called the RX11 2011 grip. It's $650. It is 775 T6 aluminum, checkering style sides on the grip, and some chevron weird style scallops front and rear. That's all it is. It's just a grip for 2011s.
Not a conversion from a
No.
1911 to a 2011, which would be super cool, but like you said, not sure how that would work.
Right. Much like a BBL would be surgery.
Right. Yeah.
Oh my god. This caffeine needs to kick in a little quicker.
Caffeine needs to kick in really quickly. Smith & Wesson is doing their red, white, and big blue event again this year, which they've done for the last several years. This is every Thursday releases on July 2nd, 7th, 14th, 21st, 28th, and 30th. And they're introducing new products and doing tons of giveaways. This previous week, they introduced stuff rather than guns. I think the guns are going to come mid-month. That's my guess. But the stuff is the new Bodyguard 2.0 parts. They're coming out with a carry cop slide kit for the 2.0, a pinky extension for the 2.0, and a turquoise PVD slide and barrel, which is their essentially rainbow titanium, is what it looks like. But they're calling it their turquoise PVD. You can also get a Bodyguard 2.0 with a factory installed Viridian dot.
Yeah, that little tiny thing they released at SHOT Show.
Mm-hmm.
They're allowing it or as a factory option though.
Yep.
Yeah, it's cool, I guess. And then they also released under Gemtech would be their new suppressor. The Neutrino is how I think it's pronounced.
Yeah.
8.5 ounces with mount. It's a 30 cal can. It's 3D printed titanium, direct hub mount. It's 6.5 inches long. It's just over 1.5 inches in diameter. Yeah, I don't know. To me, I hate to sound like this. It looks like every other suppressor.
Right. It does.
So, I mean, it's light. That to me, that part's cool.
Yeah, very lightweight.
But that's it. So stay tuned. So in the following weeks, we will also talk about the other stuff they've released.
And they'll be dropping them week by week.
Yeah. Do you have any hopes on what it is?
Well, they're going to come out with performance centers of stuff that they don't have performance centers on, which, if you remember, I think it was back in January, right after SHOT or right before SHOT, they released like the performance center version of the Equalizer. We're like, oh, never even, that was not on my bingo card for this year.
I forgot they made it.
Yeah. But stuff like that, I think they're gonna try and come out with like performance center versions. Maybe they'll have like some of their J frames with a couple popples on the front. Something like that is what I can see in the future. Just an upgraded version of their current line. I really don't see like a brand new version of something coming out. Everyone wants like third gens, but honestly, I don't think they're gonna give it to us.
I'll tell you one thing I would really like that if we're gonna just stick with parts and not do too many guns or new guns, I would love to see them come out with an extension kit for the Shield Plus. One that you could crank up the 13 rounder or 15 rounders to do like 20s.
Mm-hmm. I can see that.
A lot of people carry an extra mag in their bag or in their pocket or even just slightly off the gun as a reload, and they can afford to have a bigger mag. Why don't we have a bigger mag for the Shield Plus yet? It's been out the second longest. What are we doing?
They didn't even come out with the 15 round version for it until they came out with the Performance Center Shield Plus.
That's what I would like to see. If we're sticking to practical products like new parts for the bodyguard, which is cool. I mean, clearly it's white hot right now, right? Everyone wants the bodyguard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Shield Plus is just as good, and we don't have mag extensions for it.
I could
Anywhere.
also see them coming out with, you know, how they're like introducing a bunch of new accessories and they just allowed you to get the Viridian on top as a package. And to the best of my knowledge, there's no correlation between ownership from Viridian to Smith and Wesson, two completely independent. It's not like a co-ownership
Yeah.
or fingers in the pot for like Crimson Trace. They always do Crimson Trace stuff because there's an association with ownership there. But I think we're going to see a lot more things like that M&P that came out
You talking the
with
spec series one?
yeah, with the spec series
Mhm.
where they're going to do collaborations with other companies. Maybe there'll be a completely, you know, apexed out M&P available for purchase, or, you know, after something with a lot of aftermarket parts as a factory option, but not at the over the top of the spec series as far as price point goes.
Maybe.
Well, we'll fill you guys in as they drop, but those are our speculations. Firearms Policy Coalition, FPC, has been working tirelessly to reinstate the laws, reinstate the rights of law abiding citizens by attempting to have multiple assault weapon bans struck down across the entire country. They work state by state. They have multiple lawsuits open right now to get those laws struck down. One of the cases that's making very good traction is the Cook County assault weapons ban in Illinois. The Second Amendment Foundation has joined them in the litigation, and as of June 30th, the Supreme Court has agreed to hear the case, which is humongous. Arguments are expected to be heard in the fall. I don't believe there's an official date been set yet, but everyone is speculating October, which is right around the corner.
Oh.
And while the Connecticut case, who's also being heard at the same time as the Cook County case, it might seem narrow, it's going to set a precedence for multiple statewide bans to also be overturned, like Illinois' PTP Act, which was signed in 2023. So essentially, when the Supreme Court hears the Cook County and Connecticut cases, if they make the ruling that ARs are a common use weapon and can't be regulated or protected under the Second Amendment, none of these other statewide bans are going to have a leg to stand on, which is humongous. They're expecting that if they're heard in the fall, that they'll be overturned in roughly June of 2027, which is less than a year away. So in the next 11 months, we could see humongous changes across the entire country as far as these assault weapon bans go, which is fantastic. I absolutely cannot wait. It's going to be a landmark time in the gun community as far as everything you buy online. You're going to see all these little regulated state things underneath them.
Yeah.
A lot of those are going to disappear if this goes through. It's fantastic.
People really got to pay attention to about. I can't tell you how many people have reached out to us. Hey, I'm so excited. The Illinois ban might be going away soon. What are you talking about? And they're like, well, it's being heard. I'm like, you guys really need to. I appreciate you wanting to at least hear and be like somewhat attentive. You need to start digging more past the headlines. And I'm not saying this to be a dick. I was guilty of it, and I'm still guilty of it on some things. You have that initial knee-jerk reaction, which is how a lot of these stupid pages on social media get you. AI writes what they think is going on, and that's going to grab your attention. For example, this is not for the Illinois assault weapon ban. It's not. It's not for PICA. It is for Cook County. There's a big difference there.
Mm-hmm.
The goal is, like you said, to defeat it in Cook County and then use it to attack PICA and get back the rights for us through PICA
Mm-hmm.
and get rid of it. So, guys, just pay more attention to what is going on. Like, it sucks. I know none of us want to like pay attention to it, but that's a goal for Jackie and I, like for the rest of this year and going forward, is just be more attentive on some of the laws and stuff that are going on, because we particularly live in a state where, I mean, just in the, our life, we've not had it, not had it, taken away. Like, it's happened multiple times.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really hard to stay up on. So it's easier if you just have a constant hand on the pulse versus trying to like scramble and learn things last minute.
Mm-hmm.
So that's just my little PSA of, hey, you should be a little more attentive, at least pay attention a little bit. Go back to reading like a couple different newsletters, like a newspaper in the morning. Read some of that. Stay on top of it. I'm not saying you got to read the entire journals of everything, but.
And one more thing that you brought up, and I kind of want to touch back on again. If the Cook County one is, heard in court, they say it's unconstitutional to regulate it, and they lift the one for Cook County. Just because you live in Cook County does not mean that you can have these things again, because the Illinois law is still in effect. It just means we're not doubly regulated. We're only regulated with PICA now.
Right.
So when they lift that, I know it's going to happen. So it's not a if. I'm like almost positive it's going to be called unconstitutional to regulate it. When that happens and you live in Cook County, you're not going to be allowed to buy ARs right away, because the Illinois one still stands and Cook County is in Illinois. So while Cook County regulation has lifted, Illinois still stands for the time being. That is all.
Other new products, Staccato has announced their new gun, which got leaked, which I'm sure they were unhappy about. But now you can get the Staccato P4X. PX, it's got to be P4X. There's no way it's PX4.
P4X.
P4X. And this is a starting package of $3,600. And it gets you basically a mini XC.
Steel frame.
I believe this one is a steel frame. Yes. Steel frame. It's about 33 ounces or 32 and a half. And it's a 4-inch barrel comped.
That's exciting.
So, yeah, it is. But I think the most exciting part is the fact that it takes cloth mags.
Right. Well, yeah, that is exciting. So their HD line is quite extensive now. I remember when they first came out, it was like a whole big to do. It's kind of nice that they've seen that it is so popular and are expanding on it instead of just giving you that one base model.
No. I don't know. Hopefully it does better. I'm a little, I don't want to say let down by it, but you can quickly spec this pistol out with like magwell slide cuts and like extra mags to be $4,000.
Oh yeah.
So you're at XC money without it being an XC. I'd be interested to see how that performs against the XC.
Mm.
Granted, yes, it's an inch shorter, but that comp looks way smaller. So I'd be interested to see how that shoots. Overall package, I think it's a good looking gun. I'm a big fan of the HD guns. I like them.
Mm-hmm.
I know it doesn't sound like it by how I just dogged on it, but I do like the HD guns.
You're saying one thing, but you're doing another.
All right. Last thing for gun news. I hate to end on such like a somber, sad note. But I would be remiss if we didn't take the time to recognize the industry has lost an awesome person I've met a few times and a legend when it comes to the AK rifle, and that is Marc Krebs of Krebs Customs. So hand in hand, he is known with the AK. He developed parts that are now copied and used worldwide by militaries, like the safety that everyone changes on their AK-2, the one that's got like the little diving board on the side so you can manipulate it with one hand, was designed by Marc and then stolen by, well, everyone.
Right.
He's designed magwells. He was one of the pioneers of putting accessories, like messing with the handguard on an AK to actually mount accessories, lights, lasers. So he completely changed the platform, and I think he extended the life and interest of the AK personally by decades.
Mhm.
And he was pre making things work with the AK, like suppressors and just a pillar as far as like AKs go.
Mhm.
And I know he's had some health problems that have been very public and very aware. It was just kind of one of those things like he kind of already knew. He was just living his best life. I met him a few times, and he was just one of the nicest men. He was just always happy. One of those old guys like you could just. He was the like stereotypical, like, you know how there's like the good side, bad side of gunsmith.
Mhm.
He would be like the stereotypical good one, like, oh yeah, that's what a gunsmith is. So
The industry has lost someone very important.
yeah. So wish all the best in the prayers and stuff to his family. And thanks, Marc, for well, making the AK way better than it was.
Yeah. Shooting sports.
On to shooting sports. We are a little bit behind because we had the episode last week with Tanfo Timmy.
Mm-hmm.
But Brew City happened.
Yep.
I shot Brew City.
You did.
I did. So there were 184 shooters at Brew City this year, which was the first year.
The induction match.
Inaugural.
Yeah,
that's the number you were looking for. Or word.
The number. This coffee ain't strong enough.
Nope. All right. You want to kick us off?
Well, that depends. Are you doing the men and I'm doing the ladies?
No.
Oh.
Should I kick us off?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Carry Optics. Third place, Rayhan Shycat. Second, Aaron Mata. First place, Nico Robinson.
And that's for Carry Optics. So Carry Optics lady, second place June Upshaw, and first place Abigail Jackley.
Production, Nicholas Angeli, which is a guy that I shot with on a squad, and he's a friend from the north. He came down from Canada.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey.
Yep. Oh, and it's hilarious because some of that shit slipped out.
Oh yeah.
Oh, when he starts, like, when you really get him deep in conversation, yeah, the O's and the A's pop out. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Nick, it was awesome finally to meet you in person. It was a great time shooting with you, dude. We had a blast. And I do feel bad because it's so synonymous now. Everyone's shooting a red dot. You don't really run into production shooters.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were 2 stages deep and we were talking about stage plans. And he was like, "You're gonna shoot it this way," and I'm thinking, like, why the fuck would you shoot it that way?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because you have 15 rounds.
Right.
I see. So the plan I'm telling you, you're probably going, well, where the hell are you planning to reload? I wasn't. Like, so I think I would like to have, and I'm hoping he'll listen to this episode. Nick, I want to have you on the show because we had such an interesting time talking about the trials and tribulations that as Canadian gun enthusiasts have.
Mm-hmm.
In conjunction with like what we talked about with trying to fight and pay attention to everything that's going on earlier in the episode,
Mm-hmm.
what it could be. Because it is an absolute travesty and hell to be a gun enthusiast in Canada.
Yeah.
If you have to come to this country with a toolkit to modify things, to shoot at a match, and then to put said modified thing back to that way to go back to your country legally, that's just a taste of stuff that they have to go. It's insane.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So, Nick, here's your formal invitation. Come to Pew Time and talk to us about your shitty situation, I guess.
Limited
Oh,
division.
not you. Limited. Second place, Andrew Ford. First place, Andrew Fantz. Limited optics. I thought you said you wanted to do the ladies.
Well, if we do every other, then I would be. But you cut me off. Go on. Limited optics.
Limited optics. Third place, Vinny Net. Second place, Mike Huang. First place, John the Silent Assassin Martello.
Limited optics ladies. Third place, Jade Goodhue. Second place, Jessica Linall. And first place, Lily Berquist.
PCC. Third place, Benedict Balaguettes. Second, Mark Walters. First, Mark Schulte.
And PCC ladies, second place, Angela Spalla, the +1 of the Mr. Silent Assassin. And first place, Tegan Richmond.
Single stack, Mike Pachkowski. First place, Brandon Cromwell.
And open division, third place, Heath Creer. Second place, Nate Polson. And first place, Austin Cisna. So you shot the match. Obviously, you had a fantastic time and conversation with your Canadian buddy.
Yes, Nick. Well, so I was squatted. I was actually squatted with Austin, Nick, and then Nico, and Eric, and a bunch of other people.
A bunch of other people. And how was it?
Oh, it was fun.
Stage flow?
Good. So we technically shot on staff day.
Mm-hmm.
There were some issues which always happen at matches. There's no hiding that.
Mm-hmm.
Some squads definitely need to work on some stuff. And the match flushed some stuff out, like having tablets die is a shitty part. Like that
Mm-hmm.
that happened. But overall, I had fun. It was a good match.
But that's why staff day exists, right?
To flush that out. Yeah, stages were fantastic. One unique stage that he put in there was very IPSC flavored, very short course, a lot of movement. So we had, the hell was it? It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It was 8 rounds.
Mm-hmm.
One paper target, the rest poppers.
Okay.
Strong hand only.
Nice.
It was fun. I had a ton of fun on it. Seeing guys that I don't get to shoot with often that I really just see on Instagram or talk to other guys about, like Nico or Austin, like shooting with them was fantastic because they are hell of a shooters.
So all in all, very good match. And
Yeah.
from the sounds of it, it will be happening again next year.
Yes. Yeah. I had a couple stupid mistakes. I placed 29th in carry optics. I had a couple. I had 2 mics on one stage that were just dumb. I tried aggressively taking a tuxedo coming into a position through a port, and I had shot on like the step down, and I saw them go just to the left. I thought they were close enough. I should have shot 2 more.
Mm-hmm.
I did not.
Ooh. At least you didn't get enough TSA on it.
This is true. But I felt the pace was, I was feeling pretty good on pace. It was much better than it has been. I just need to work on the points and doing those stupid mics. If I didn't have those mics, it would have been so much better.
And it was you shot it in a 1-day format. Did they have a 2-day format available? It was just an all 1-day, 10 stages plus chrono.
Mm-hmm. We actually had an influx of shooters come to shoot Saturday instead of Sunday because in our area, we actually have a lot of law enforcement that shoot USPSA, and a lot of guys found out last minute that they had some mandatory overtime on Sunday, because on Sunday Chicago was having the Pride Parade, and they are mandatory to be there.
Mm-hmm.
So they asked the match director, Eric, hey, I was squatted for Sunday. I still want to shoot. Can I squeeze in on Saturday? Eric, being the ever accommodating match director that he is, yes, absolutely. Oh, come up and shoot the match.
So it was staff and LE day.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm sure I'll have Eric on to talk about the match post.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I enjoyed it. I can't wait again for next year.
Good. I'll hopefully be able to shoot it next year.
Yeah. Oh, it's time.
It is time.
Tales from the gun counter.
It is. So even not being behind the gun counter, just observing as people are checking into the range.
So hilariously, you can tell the people what happened. It's one of the few times I was actually at your place.
Mm-hmm.
Was I picking up a gun? Dropping a gun off?
You brought me dinner because I was working till close.
Yeah, you picked up
on
a
it.
shift. So I was like, well, I'll bring you dinner. And when I came in and was sitting, just chit-chatting while we were in there. Go ahead.
So actually, the shift I picked up was working the range counter,
Mm-hmm.
where I normally don't work. So, you know, it's a lot more interesting at the range counter than on the sales floor sometimes. So, if you go to a range you have never been to before, and they ask you, have you shot with us before? You can be honest and say no.
Yeah.
And let them tell you the rules, because ranges do have different policies, and you don't want to be that guy that walks in and goes, you've been to them all, kind of a thing. Like, yeah. And then you don't get the entire briefing, right? Because you just told me you've been here before, so you know the rules. Then proceed to walk away from my counter where the range is behind me and walk in another direction and go, the range is upstairs, right? No, you don't even know where the range is. How the hell did you just tell me, yeah, you've been here before and you know the rules, but you don't even know that the range is in the door to your left?
Yeah.
And not on another floor.
Now, Jackie did not tell that to the guy. I, however, brought that up to Jackie
After
I looked at her. I was like, you've been here before, but you don't know where the shooting lanes are. Checks out.
Right. So I should have reeled him right back in and been like, all right, you get the full safety briefing.
Yeah. So seeing as you don't know where the range is, here are the following rules.
Right. So that was it. Just a little PSA. If you go to a new place, let them know you've not been there before. Let them tell you the rules.
It's going to take you it's going to take you 2 minutes.
Right.
At most.
Right. It's not like we don't know what the rules are and have to think about them. It's a thing we just ramble off over and over throughout the entire shift. So let me tell you the rules.
Again, they're just doing their job. Do their thing. They might have something special to where you have to do that. Like, I've been to some ranges where they require like chamber flags and they're really, really anal about it. Right? And if you don't have them and they got to keep telling you, they'll kick you out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to be that guy. Your friends go in there and you guys are all having a good time and you get yelled at twice for it.
Yeah.
And get kicked out because you were a dill hole and didn't want to just listen to the safety brief.
I mean, I've worked the counter before, and same thing. Like, you've been here before, you know the rules. Oh yeah, I shoot here all the time. Great. Go in the range. No drawing from the holster on the public range. Right? When you're in classes or you're doing like the combat shooting, of course, yes. But not on the public range. You guys coming out, guns a blazing straight from the holster, doing hip shots down range. I'm like, what are you doing? And they're like, well, it's the range. I said, you can't draw from the holster. And they're like, well, I didn't know that. Well, first of all, if you look to your left, there's a giant sign.
It is giant.
That says, no rapid fire, slow controlled shooting, no videography on the range, no drawing from holsters. It's right there. It's the third one down. There's only 7. 7 do's and don'ts. They're posted. Just follow the rules.
Right.
End rant.
Our weekend shooting. Like I said, I shot Brew City. I do have to say, I felt really good as far as um, stage planning, uh, execution, aside from the mics. But there was a point I can honestly say, given the attention to like fitness and weight loss, has affected my ability to be like quote in the match longer. It did turn out just to be like I was getting tired at the end of the match, and I kept thinking to myself like, it's only 10 stages, man. I really thought I would be able to like at some point start to make it through 10 stages. And then it dawned on me, I'm doing okay. It's just a really long freaking day.
Mm-hmm.
So I had got there at 6:30 in the morning. I did help out Eric with some last minute things, hanging some banners. Shocking. Seems to be my thing now. Um, but as someone that has helped put on majors now, I get it. And Eric's a buddy, and I'll help him whenever I can. So hang some banners, did some little stuff before we started, and match started at 8. So even if you just count the shooting time, 8, given all the problems, slowdowns, stuff, we didn't stop shooting until 6:30. That's a long day on the range. Long day.
Yeah.
So I was just tired.
Yeah. I mean, being anywhere in one spot and constantly moving and going for 12 hours is a lot.
Yeah.
So no, I mean, I feel like prior to, your weight loss and, working on conditioning and everything, that would have been even worse of a day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I would have been dead halfway through. So I do feel that it is working,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice. And now I'm going to start upping my practice. I have a couple practices scheduled coming up before Area 5 because that'll be my next big uh, pistol match.
And that's at the end of July, the last week of July, I believe.
Yep. So I need to work on just gathering more points, being more patient with the dot. I'm going to start working on some distance stuff to really dial in like the accuracy. So that'll be my plan going forward.
Yeah. You got what, I think 1 or 2 locals, a practice night, and then you'll probably do like 2 range sessions, 2 solo range sessions, or with a buddy, like not in a match setting.
Yeah.
Lots of lead down range in preparation. It's gonna be a good one. You're doing the Area 5s in a 2-day format.
That's the only way we can shoot it this year.
Mhm.
There is no one day.
So you're gonna be up in Michigan
Again.
for a few days.
Again. We both shot 22s.
Yes, I got
You
I got a squirrel gun.
You did finally get a squirrel gun. What'd you get?
I got the Savage Mark II
Mm-hmm.
in 22. It's a bolt action. It's the same chassis of gun that I used for my first squirrel, but that was a gun that was lent to me by one of my coworkers and a good friend, David. His is the 20-inch with a big heavy wood stock sling and a obnoxiously large scope on the top. This thing was freaking heavy. Like if I didn't have a sling, I would have been in a bunch of trouble.
That scope's not bigger.
It felt bigger. Like the whole thing just felt like this giant monster that I had to lug around in the woods, with the wood stock and everything. It was beefy.
Yeah. Beefy. They call me Mr. Beefy.
So I got the same gun, but in a youth stock with laminate. It's a laminate youth stock. So it's very, very lightweight. It has a bunch of wood cut out of the underside of the back of the stock.
Yeah.
So it makes it even lighter. And it is the Scout barrel. So it's a 16 or 16.1, something like right at the cusp of the 16 mark.
Just enough to be
a rifle and not a pistol.
Well, it might be closer to 16 and a quarter because I think yours is threaded.
Yes, it is. So I actually have, it's new to me, but it's not a new scope in this household.
True.
I took your old scope, which is a Burris. I don't remember
or T15, I think.
And I don't remember was it 3 to 8?
3 to 15.
3 to 15. I put that on top. We mounted it together. It's the first time I ever
You
put
did.
a scope on. So
You
I,
went through the troubles and you saw the uh, tedious nature of properly mounting a level scope.
yeah, but I got it. I did it. And then you looked it over and said I did pretty good.
Yep. You remembered Loctite
I remembered Loctite on all of the screws, and I remembered to rotate how I tighten them down. So there's
and
a science to the madness
and the importance of torque wrenches.
and the importance of torque wrenches.
So if you guys don't know, if you're not a scope person, torque wrenches beyond important. I have witnessed, quote, gunsmiths
Mhm.
tighten rings to where they start touching the ring on the other side with the scope inside, and that will actually crush the tube. They're not meant to do that. They're meant to hold it in place at a certain area
Mhm.
so where it doesn't move. Like generally they won't touch. There'll always be tiny little gaps, and you kind of want to make sure the gaps are the same. And I'm sure I'll do a scope mounting video eventually, but there's so many good ones out there that are way better than what I could do. Just do it with the torque wrench, because I've seen people crush scope tubes and that will crack the glass on the inside. So don't do that. Don't go until, oh, it's good and tight. Like, good and tight usually on a scope means good and broken.
Yeah.
So you did it the proper way. Yay.
Yay.
And the reason you got my old scope is because I am gearing up. I just said Area 5 is my next big pistol match. It also is shaping up to be the last one for the year. And then my attention is going to be into rifles, primarily NRL 22 and some PRS. And it just so happens that one of our companies that we love partnering with, Gideon, they have released a new product, which is we talked about it, I
A
think,
few
during
weeks ago.
SHOT Show, right?
We talked about during SHOT Show, and then they had it at GunCon a couple weeks ago.
Yes.
And we got to get a closer look at it.
Yeah. So they've released the Guardian LR, which is their 5-25 by 56 first focal plane scope.
Yes, you heard that right. 56.
Yeah. Yeah. The
It is
objective lens is gigantic.
insane. Like, you were actually questioning, like, the rings that you have, like, is it actually going to fit, or are you going to be touching the barrel with the front of it? And the answer is no. No, you did not have to put a riser on it or anything.
So I was
It was
concerned
close.
because the rings that I had that I put on your gun were low mount rings. And the burrs was super close. Like I had to have the front sight down on my rifle.
Mhm.
Otherwise it wouldn't have fit. And I'm like, this is even bigger. This is going to be a
The
problem.
rear sight.
Yeah, the rear sight. Which for those of you that don't know, it's on the barrel. It's like a 1022. It flips up and down. I had to have it down, otherwise it wouldn't have worked. And this one, it was very close, but the rings I had were slightly taller. So I mounted their new one, and we went to go and zero it, and chose one of the hottest days of the year.
Yeah.
So all we did was get a rough zero at 25 yards.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a very good learning experience because you learned that maybe at some points in your life you should just listen to your husband and not go off on your own.
Yes.
I'm going to call you out on this because it was adorably cute and extremely frustrating at the same time. I went over to talk to one of our friends, and I came back, and she looks like she's having a hard time, fun time, but having a very difficult time. And what are you doing? She goes, well, I moved it, but it doesn't seem like it's changing. I'm like, okay, weird, because when you adjust the scope, especially on these two, they have pretty good clicks on them. I'm looking, I'm like, okay, shoot it again. Let's move it. I go to move the turret, and it just spins. What did you do? She's like, what? What did you do? And like, I can pull the turret off. And she's like, well, I loosened it. I'm like, no, 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 no. No, no. You skip steps. And this, I'll take partial blame for this. Maybe I didn't explain it clearly enough about what slipping a turret means. We need to sight it in before we can reset what the 0 is. All Jackie heard was she had to unbolt everything and then reset it.
Yeah, it was my bad.
Right.
I really didn't understand. I assumed that was like, I didn't realize that was resetting a 0. I thought that was adjusting where my crosshairs were.
How about
Like
no?
right to left. I didn't realize what I was doing was something completely different.
How about no?
Yep. Screwed that up. But
It's like going
you got
like,
me set right.
oh, I got the cake mix, and we put frosting on it. Like you skip some steps in the middle.
No baking.
Yeah.
Just put the frosting on the cake mix.
Yeah. Which I'm sure some people will enjoy, but the results probably not going to be that good.
I don't want to try it now.
No. So finally got everything tightened back up. Started teaching her just the basics of like, hey, if you look in there, there's where the bullet holes are going. Here's your aiming. How many clicks away? Like how many little hash marks? And then it gets pretty fun when you can go, oh, I can add that up and just go click, 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 and it's like right there.
Mm-hmm.
So we got those locked down at 25, and then the next trip out, we will get you a lockdown 50-yard, and that is where we will slip the turrets to be zeroed at 50.
Okay.
And then go from there.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're gonna have the challenge of putting out a bunch of different targets, especially squirrels, and know what your holdover is so you can build a dope card for your gun and know whenever we go into the woods, hey, a 20-yard squirrel, I can hold it here inside the scope, or I can do click adjustments. For hunting, you'll probably just hold it somewhere, but this way you know.
Yep.
I got to mess with my scope, which this gun is turning out to be quite the shooter. I really, really enjoy it. I can't wait to take it to a match. It is taking a little adjustments to the new scope. I feel like the eye box, the eye relief on it is slightly tighter than the Burris. This one has an illuminated reticle, which the Burris did not. This one has a green one, so I got to mess around with that. I'm having some fun with this, so be on the lookout for some more talks about that and a video coming out with the whole kind of get up for that rifle.
And you have yours on the Ruger American 22.
Yeah, this is still the same rifle that I'm going to use for NRL 22. Ruger American Rimfire bolt gun. This is going to be much like a lot of other things I've done throughout like my shooting career. It's a very cheap gun to get into a sport. And once I took that precision rifle class and realized you can do a lot of practice and stuff and started watching more videos, the 22 is actually a really good training tool. I really wanted to do it, and I found out we have within 2 hours. We have three or four ranges that do monthly NRL 22 matches, like sanctioned matches. And we have one local like pro series and stuff that you can gather points to go to nationals and stuff, if you want to take it that far.
Right.
But this gun is very inexpensive. I mean, I think this gun was maybe $200, $225.
Yeah.
They don't really, the American bolt guns don't sell very well because it's not a 1022. It takes 1022 mags, but not a 1022.
Right.
I haven't done anything to the stock. I have inexpensive Wheeler rings on it, and that Gideon scope is $600. But if you want to save 10% and free and shipping on it, it'll be even cheaper if you use code LNL10 at checkout. Which so far it's shaping up to be on that 10 or on that rifle for a while, and then potentially on another gun in the future after a little bit more.
Still for PRS is still the intention, right?
Yeah, PRS, maybe some practical rifle. We'll see.
It's a good scope for those.
I'm hoping so. I still want to do a little testing on it, compare it to some of my other scopes and see how it does. It is kind of Gideon's first foray into like the MPVOs. where, multi-power variable optic instead of low power. They have a couple low powers, but when you start getting into higher magnification like this, you want dot clarity, and a couple of experienced rifle guys have looked through it and they seem impressed with it so far. So if it holds up, I think we might have a banger budget scope.
Oh yeah.
So I'm looking forward to it.
Because the glass generally costs more than the gun when you're getting into like distance.
It can. It very, very much can. And the last thing we did was not shooting related, although we did incorporate guns into it because of protection.
Right.
We decided for the 4th of July weekend, we were going to be super American and go camping.
Yeah.
But not just any camping. We decided that this would be the first time, and I feel like we kind of cheated because we were kind of next to the like people still.
Mm-hmm.
But we went dispersed camping, which for those of you that don't know, it's kind of like primitive style.
Mm-hmm.
There's no reservations. That's in a national forest. Like you can park on the side of the road here, and within 100 yards of the road or whatever it is, you can just set up camp.
No electric hookups, no water hookups, no
Yeah,
bathrooms.
nothing.
Just you in the woods and your car.
Now, I had planned this one because we were going up 4th of July weekend. I wanted to stay by a lake, and where we were, 90% of this lake is lake houses. Really nice lake houses.
Mm-hmm.
10% of the shoreline is national forest, which is also where the trail is. And I was really hoping that it would be like every other lake house I've ever been to, where they go all out for 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out
That's exactly what it was.
it was magnificent.
Yeah. What was like when we first pulled in, it's like, wow, this is really like desolate, very remote. The farther down the trail you got, the closer you got to the lake. And by the time we parked and realized this was like the perfect spot, closed the door before we even opened the hatch to get the stuff out to start setting up, you hear engines revving and
Yeah.
jet skiers all over the lake.
Yeah.
So there was quite a bit of people around, but nobody really nobody camping. I didn't see anyone else camping.
No.
The whole forested area was just barren. There was like no people there. There were some people that took the trails on like ATVs like near us.
Right.
But I didn't see anybody out camping. So there were still people that we saw. But it was just the lake attendees out exploring the woods.
Right. I think you said it best. I think we probably would have been, honestly, I wouldn't have picked that place if it wasn't 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
Probably would have picked somewhere more like isolated.
Mm-hmm.
But I think because it was 4th of July, hearing everyone celebrate and have a good time was like part of the fun of the weekend.
Right. Very, very patriotic. I mean, like red, white, and blue banners on their little fishing boats, their pontoons.
Oh, I mean, the guys with the speedboats that had like not flags as big as you'd see at like Camping World, but damn close, just flying behind the boat.
Mm-hmm.
It was very cool.
Yeah. They got like radios on their boats. So we were hearing Born in the USA, rock acoustic versions of the Star Spangled Banner. Like there was a lot of America happening on that lake.
And we were camping and having s'mores and
Yep.
very American.
Very, very American. And how we incorporated guns.
Yeah.
Because of how far north we were.
So we were in Michigan. So we weren't super far north.
We're about halfway up the state along Lake Michigan, but more inland.
And there's always the chance up there of bear.
Mm-hmm.
And
wildcats.
Yeah, there are some. I guess a mountain lion would be
cougar.
Cougar would be more appropriate.
I was doing a little bit of digging on like the things that were up in that region, and cougar was up there, bobcat was up there, black bear was up there.
Yeah, the bear was my biggest concern. Bobcats generally, they're really not a concern. They don't like people.
Mm-hmm.
Cougars is a concern. Right? They are as big. Well, they're definitely as big as you,
mm-hmm.
and they see that as that's easy enough.
Mm-hmm.
So we wanted some protection. So we did two things. One, I got us each a can of bear spray.
Mm-hmm.
And two, which this unlocks number 3 for us, which I'll talk about in a second. But you really want like a big revolver or a 10 mil
Mm-hmm.
is kind of where you want to be. And luckily we have friends because we don't own a 10 mil
You do not yet.
yet. And luckily our friends let us borrow one of each,
Right. So,
each one.
yeah. And two of my coworkers each had a 10 mil. One had a Glock 20 Gen 4, and the other one had an M&P full size
Mm-hmm.
in 10.
So got some ammo, loaded those up, and that's what we brought with. Both iron sight, just something nice and simple.
Mm-hmm.
That unlocks number 3. So now I need to build your Glock 21 and get you a 10 mil upper.
Mm-hmm.
And we can have the official laugh and load camp gun.
Yes.
Maybe I'll send it out to Vinny and we'll do a cool little build on it or something.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah. I mean, I had a ton of fun.
We did not need to use our guns.
We did not. Jackie almost used the bear spray on a goose.
He was really aggressive.
Okay.
And it was 11 o'clock at night. It was on Saturday, the 4th of July, maybe an hour after the fireworks display ended, half hour.
Which, by the way, one of the best fireworks displays ever seen.
Like they did it over like the boat launch at the lake. Somewhere in that region is where the fireworks were coming from. So
You
like
could see
the
it right at camp.
community. Yeah, we could see it from where our seats were set up at our campfire. Beautiful view over the lake of the fireworks. It could not have gotten any better. I don't remember the last time we went to a fireworks display, but they've just been getting like crappier and crappier year after year.
This was a good 45 minutes, almost an hour long.
There were several, I mean, when I say several, I mean close to a dozen times where not only us, but apparently everyone at the lake thought that what just happened was the grand finale,
Right.
because it was hooting and hollering, cheering, clapping coming from the whole lake. And then 10 seconds later, another volley set up. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's still going. I thought that was the grand finale. It was just like it was such a good show.
So tell us about this attacker.
The goose. So the fireworks die down. Everybody's still around the lake, like having a good time, but it's still very quiet where we are. And you hear crunching. There's like dead leaves all over because we're in the forest in a heavily wooded area.
So listen, it was crunching to the level of we both got lights and turned, like it was not your typical
like little squirrel movement.
You've heard enough squirrels now where you can be like, that's definitely a squirrel or a chipmunk of some sort.
Mm-hmm.
This was not. This was like foot dragging, more crunching, like it was more apparent, taking a bigger step. It wasn't just like a
yeah.
This was like it was.
Yeah, I'm like, oh my god, something big is right behind our tent. Maybe 5 yards off the tent. It was very close.
And it turned out to be a family of geese, including little babies, all being ushered over into the lake.
Yep.
And apparently our car was a wee bit too close, because when you went to the car to put some stuff away, the mama or Papa Goose, not sure which one, decided you were too close to the babies and turned and looked at you. Started off at about 20 yards. And Jackie paid no mind. I still have the flashlight on it. Paid no mind, started putting more stuff away. The goose was not having that.
The goose started advancing towards me. Like this shoulder slumping, aggressive. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I was like, this is not how I'm gonna go down. I was thinking bears, I'm thinking wildcats, I'm thinking all these things that I could potentially protect myself against. Goose was not on my bingo card.
I'm gonna tell you guys this because it was funny, but also I told you the goose started at 20 yards.
Mm-hmm.
The goose got close enough for Jackie to grab the bear spray.
Yeah.
I'm like, what are you doing? And she's like, I'm not going to shoot the goose. I was like, well, one, I will. Two, And she's like, no, no, no. And I walked over, and then the goose was like, oh, there's a bigger one.
And stopped dead in his tracks, had a good 30-second stare off with me, and then proceeded to follow the little chicklings into the lake.
Yeah. So that was your excitement.
My excitement. Yeah, I did not have to use the gun or the bear spray to protect myself, and I only got scared enough to grab the bear spray once, and it was from a freaking goose.
And to be fair, you were giving like every like warning. The goose
The
got this
flashlight on it.
flashlight. You were going, hey, hey, like throwing your arms up, and he was like, "Fuck you want? Bust a move, bust a move."
Yeah.
And when the goose started getting like 7, 6, 5, like I can understand why you grabbed it, rightfully so, right? Those little bastards can be a kind of aggressive.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was I was laughing.
Yeah.
And then when he started getting closer and I saw you grab the bear spray, I'm like, oh, Jackie's done thinking this is cute.
Yeah. Like, I went over there because of how loud and aggressive the crunch was, because I was at the car. I had the gun with me already. I set the gun down and grabbed the bear spray because you just brought your children out for a little swim.
Could have had a different dinner.
We could have had a different dinner.
Damn it.
And honestly, it probably would have just sounded like fireworks to everybody else. Like, oh, they just set off an M80 over in the national forest.
Yeah. We had the perfect cover and everything.
Yeah, we did.
Shame.
Double shame. Well, that wraps up
That's it, guys.
week and the show.
You guys know what to do when to do it. We appreciate all the feedback. Like, subscribe, and rate the podcast if you wouldn't mind. It does help the algorithm, and we are continuing to grow. I see the numbers going up and up and up, which is fantastic. Thank you guys so much. It really means a lot to us. If you have questions, comments, concerns, or ideas for topics for the show, you can always reach out to us at pewtimepodcast@gmail.com or at Laugh and Load on basically any of the social medias, and we will see it. And I guess we will talk to you next week.
Next week. Bye.